So let's take a look at it. It's that proverbial kind of like trip over kind of like, troubled waters. But in this deck, this is more like a scene from the Notebook. And I really hope you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she did stab those swords in the bottom of that little kind of like canoe boat that's crossing her over. But look at all these crests and this kind of blanket that she's taking with her. She's obviously, and crystals and the beliefs, like it's very important for her who she is, the progress and her healing, and she's moving forward. Things are really, I would say, calming down to some extent. Maybe some of you went through the storm. Maybe kind of like you needed to overcome hardship and get some kind of relief or feel stable. Maybe some of you are running away. Just simply could be also mean trouble. I really need this kind of like break. Let me just book something. Whatever is, done. Maybe the travel just happened without too much, planning. This is clearly talking about moving on or moving forward. It's a really good card. And it's one of my favorite cards because nothing really feels better than overcoming certain things. This is kind of like this yes feeling, right? And so you can this month expect that problems will settle down and things are going to be way easier to deal with, right? This can also kind of like represent a little bit of escaping, and those journeys and travel that I told you about could be sort of like that you're journeying in your own head, right? But nothing wrong about it. That kind of like really kind of like fosters the creativity and pushes to the next level, right? If you are wondering about love and this is on your mind, then this is also talking about that relationships will be better, and maybe you experienced a difficult period. So now you're talking about that healing and stability and open communication, right? And it's really important. So remember this, right? Because that's kind of like a thing that is going to push you forward. Same old, and not communicating properly can actually create stagnation. So you need to work on that. If you're single, this also talks about that you have experienced something in the past that sort of like made you wonder, kind of like about the future. Maybe you've been through the heartache, or maybe somebody really kind of like made it kind of like make you feel that you are inadequate. But this is really telling me that that sense of feeling deflated or sense of negativity is like lifting, because you have come through the bad times and now it's time to allow healthy relationship to come in your life for a change, right? Maybe some of you had an abusive partner, and this is clearly saying that you're finding the strength to leave that, right? On the work front, and like interestingly, we also have Chariot, which is still didn't turning around entirely. So you're like feeling in your element and kind of like pushing it forward a little bit, right? In kind of like work life, things are under control. You are kind of on kind of like on time, on task, completing things. And maybe some of you moved into the job that is kind of better for you, or even financial that makes more sense. It can also indicate that maybe for business you'll be traveling overseas, or there's going to be some dealing with moving business over here. If you guys have been struggling financially, this is a really good card to get, because it talks about kind of like getting a relief from your financial problems, and also kind of like moving to the better place. Even though this is coming with a warning that you cannot run away from financial issues. If you really want that kind of like to last, this peace, you really must deal with your money issues. Don't run away from them. So if your finances haven't been going well, that means that you'll be finding some kind of like agreements and negotiations, something that you can handle, right? Don't be overly cocky when you are, negotiating that, because you're going to all of a sudden feel that you're not under pressure, you're not in a pressure cooker, and that you also have a little bit extra money to spend. So don't waste them. Kind of like really, it's really important to know that you just came from the storm. Maybe you also have been dealing with some kind of illness, and this also kind of talks about moving forward, especially if you have been lethargic or drained, or kind of like just that stress was like keeping you down. So that's why vacation or weekend kind of like away can do like really so much good. So spiritually, this really talks about, connecting to your spirit guides. This is a 6 after all, right? And they're everywhere around you at this stage because they really want to assist you. There is like going to be some wisdom that you can really get. So pay attention to your intuition, visions, and dreams. And this time, they're trying to tell you something very important. So open your ears, open your mind, and just make sure that you're paying attention to your dreams.